Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another video. Today we're trying to solve another lab from server-side template injection, and this one is server-side template injection with information disclosure via user-supplied objects. So let's access the lab, let it warm up, and let's read the description, shall we? This lab is vulnerable to server-side template injection due to the way an object is being passed into the template. This vulnerability can be exploited to access sensitive data. To solve the lab, steal and submit the framework's secret key. You can log into your own account using the following credentials. Content Manager. Okay, alright. So let's go to the lab. Let's use Burp Suite. Okay, let's explore the page. If we view details from one product, we can see a description, return to list. There's nothing interesting there. Okay, it's probably the same case for everyone, for every single one. Okay, so let's use the My Account button, and we can log in here. So it's Content Manager, and the password is this. Login. All right. We can see, like, we can change the email. Let's see. Let's try the simple payload. Update email. Okay, we know that there is some kind of validation, and this validation is on the client side. Let's check whether the validation is on the backend. So update. Okay, nothing changed, so probably there is some kind of validation, because if we try to maybe content manager dot normal user blah 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 .com update. Okay, it worked. So that's probably not the place, because it's really hard to try something here without the construction of an email, right? But since this is in the content manager, if we go back and if we access one item, we can see that there's something like edit template. So let's click it, and here we can see the template. What else can we see is that there are double brackets, so we already know the syntax. And let's see, what can we try? I like to do it in a different tag, and let's see whether we can try to, let's say, start an error, so we can get some information. So maybe we can do something like this. I don't know, it's going to work. Let's preview. Okay, so it's not like that. Oh, you know what, so let's try simple payload 7 times 7 and preview. Okay, we got an error. Traceback file and module Python 2.7 and Django. So we know the framework. The framework is Django. Django is a, as you know, Python framework. And there's a could not parse the reminder, so this one wasn't made properly. All right, so we can go to the payload all the things GitHub repository, and we can scroll down to the server side template injection. And let's go to Python, and let's go to, these are the payload formats, but we already know that's Django. And let's go here, and what we can see, basic injection causes error with Django templates. So we know that's in a Django template. And let's see what do we have here. This is a cross-site scripting, and here we have some information. We can leak some information. So let's try it. Let's go back here. Let's go back, and let's insert it here. Preview. All right, look at that. We got many information. So let's save it, and we can get it in a better way. And let's see whether there's something interesting here. High-end gifting wrapping. There's some settings. False, false. All right. Base 64. Django apps. Okay. Django core. We know that. Okay, but there's a compatibility with 1.10, 1.8. So that's. I would assume that this version of this Django is 1.9. I don't know. Okay, let's go down. these are just Django modules listed here. Like, I'm not seeing any secret keys. There's Java too. Okay, so there are no secret keys here, but there's something. I mean, we can also look for this Django linking apps secret key, but this is probably for linking just some tokens stored in local storage. We can of course try it. Review. But there's nothing here, right? But let's see. It's Django, Python, base files, let's say, something like that. Managing files, how to create the file object. Let's check it here. Creating a default Django project, because I want to show you how is Django created. Okay, so when you're trying to create a default Django project, something like this will like pop up, will be generated. The manage.py, and of course the repository root. It's not in a configuration root. So there's manage.py, and the configuration root, this is like the name of the project, let's say. And here are settings and some files like ASGI for asynchronous, server WSGI for synchronous, and URLs. URLs is like a file where you store simply URLs, like the main application. There are also like you can create application. It's called application in Django, like different smaller modules, let's say. So they can be a module for users, they can be a module for products, let's say. This is how is Django creating. And there is this settings file, and by default this is just, let's say, settings, settings.py, and there are some different information stored there. So let's see whether we can try to access it. So settings, preview. Okay, there's something, user settings folder. I'm not exactly sure what it is. And let's see, and whether if I can show you the settings file. I'm not sure where we can find it here. Yeah, this is the settings.py. Okay, and this is so there are some lines of the settings file. Here's the base directory. This is basically more for static files. Media templates. And maybe we can we find something else? Okay, anyway, you just have to imagine that like this is how this is a small part from settings.py. How does it look like? And there's also something like secret key equals, and there's the secret key with the capital letters. So maybe we can try to inject it. Maybe not inject, but leak it. So there's settings and secret key. And let's go preview. Look at that. We got something juicy from here. So let's try to submit the solution, because that should be it. That's the secret key. Okay. And this is how you can solve the lab. So thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next video.